That does seem to be the buzz. Who will be the next Speaker of the House when Republicans do take control? This commences tomorrow. Congressman Dan Meuser joining us live right now, Pennsylvania Republican here, and also member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and Small Business Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. Where does your vote stand on this in terms of Speaker of the House? There's quite a bit of buzz of who it will be. For those that are against McCarthy, they're very adamant about it. And their reasons are what they have seen in the past, which they cite to not as many changes or the losses in the recent election, in the midterms. Where do you stand? Where do your loyalties lie?
Hey, Sean, Happy New Year. Great to be with you. Well, I'm absolutely with Kevin McCarthy for a lot of reasons. He's got a plan we've all been working on for the last 2 years that we all ran on. McCarthy has a winning track record. We won seats and 2 years ago. We won seats in this past election. We now have the majority. The American people have spoken. We had a conference vote. Kevin McCarthy got 86% of the Republicans in the conference support. Okay, that's a landslide. That's a landslide by any measurement. And since then, Kevin McCarthy, and I was very much in favor of those who were blocking or not supporting Kevin McCarthy initially, sitting down, negotiating. I thought that was making us better, purer, more conservative, more precise, more together, more united. Yet, and that seemed to be the case up until 2 or 3 days ago. Yet no matter what negotiations took place in good faith by McCarthy and many of us, they just recently sent a letter that, it's too late. You know, that's nonsense, okay? This seems to be a little bit more personal and more of a personal power play than about executing our agreed upon agenda.
Sure, but to the American people, and I'm sure you see this as well, they see political infighting with the Republican Party because obviously you don't have 100% compliance, at least with Kevin McCarthy being Speaker. He more than likely would get it, I believe, in the second ballot. That has been widely discussed if that indeed does go down. But then you have to get everyone back together and all on the same page to support McCarthy. Will that be a difficult task?
Well, it shouldn't be. I respect every one of those members. I really do. They're part of our team. They help form the agenda that the American people voted for. But right now, some of them are blocking that agenda. And there's a lot at stake, Sean, right? We got to get moving here. 2 years goes real fast. Yeah. And we're back in campaign mode, and people are going to be asking, what is it that you actually did, right? We must secure our borders. We must engage in national security. We must make us more energy independent and lower the cost of energy. We must improve our economy and make America the most competitive economy in the world. Yeah. We've got to fight crime, even from the congressional level. We need to deliver on these things that are part of our plan. We can't do it being divided, as you say, and without a speaker that 86% of us have already voted for and support completely.
Right. In terms of security, you mentioned this just now. I want to talk about the border because if you ask what Republicans have promised to do, and there's a lot, oversight, right, looking into Hunter Biden's laptop and obviously the dealings there, the alleged dealings. But specifically, I wanted to end on the border here, the encounters, the highest number recorded in history in 2022. There were 16,000 encounters just over Christmas weekend. The Supreme Court, as you know, voted to keep Title 42 in place. That surprised a lot. But again, still chaos at the border. So the big question is this. Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, is he doing his job? And if you don't believe that he is in securing the national border here, what is the next step for the House and Secretary Mayorkas?
We have to get very aggressive here, Sean, and we have to be very specific so the American people know what we're voting for, because we're going to pass border security in the House. And then Republicans in the Senate and Democrats, we will see where they stand and whether or not they want an open, porous border that exists today that is causing from crime to human trafficking to drugs to American deaths, or if they're going to be with us and reasonably support this border. It's been done before. This administration, Secretary Mayorkas, and I can't help but call him the big guy, okay, Joe Biden, are not enforcing the asylum laws that exist, nor are they properly enforcing Title 42. To me, those are investigatable potential offenses, perhaps criminal, and that needs to be looked at. They need to reverse course. We need to have remain in Mexico because we cannot process the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands coming across, being coached by drug cartels, by the way, to say what they should, what they're saying in order to gain asylum. It's a joke. The joke's on us. We need to end this January 3rd.
Congressman Dan Meuser of Pennsylvania joining us live. Congressman, Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for coming on.